Welcome back. It's been a while. I got another shallogram video. We got a magnifying glass already set up here, and 4 shallograms, and then we're gonna go through some shallograms if I got time. So I figured I'd start with this one. So for anyone who's not aware of the totality of my research, it is my interpretation that shallograms are not actually fossils, but are caused by current flows that were present at the time that the Earth expanded, because it doesn't function under plate tectonics. They're only found in Kali-Gandaki Gorge Valley in the area of Damodar Kund in Nepal. They're considered ammonites, which are also not fossils, according to what I've discovered. But, so we're going to just go ahead and go through the details of why that is. Almost every shallogram has something. This one, so let's start with this one. This here is a chakra, is what it's called. The center point of a ammonite structure is considered a chakra. So we can kind of see the way it curves out in steps, and then has all these little etchings. So my interpretation is that current flowed generally around it, inward, and then got to the center and basically went underneath the circling current and etched these types of things. Or also went around it, basically, like a current in the plane generally, but then above and below, coming back in. So in this one, the reason I say that is because I think it's actually coming in, etching these here and over here for reasons that we'll get into. So for the length, this thing's maybe 1.5 inches long, tall. It's got a flat face over here, a sort of 90-degree angle there. Interestingly, it only is etched on this side, not so much on this side, so it doesn't have like a completed structure. From an ammonite is a fossil interpretation standpoint, that would just be because maybe the fossil was broken and there's only a piece of it. But it's like that on both sides. It stops pretty abruptly here, and we see these etchings going into the stone here. Just waiting for it to focus, hoping it will focus. That's okay. Here, it's got like a circle right there. Okay, before I get too distracted though, let's kind of look over here. So it's got a secondary teeth structure here, which is the same as these. I would really like this to focus. It was focusing, there it goes. So these teeth are distinctly not these teeth, so it's like below it. So that's why I think it's going out and back in over down here, as well as like extended like another layer and went in here as well. And over here, which is kind of not in a line, but if we keep following this, like clearly this one is related to this segment. These are related, and then those are related to this one, the top one here. But then again, this side has a top one, so the second layer off of here. Here's the first layer. Up here, second layer. second layer, and then a third layer of teeth across here. So from a fossil standpoint, that is highly anomalous, I would say. But from a current standpoint, where currents are inducing these shapes and etching this stone, it's more like reasonable, like based on the shape of the stone and more particular circumstances, it can produce this like tiered layering of the process. And then it just has another little marking over here. Okay. Some more like teeth type things right there. There's a couple. This one's interesting right here. So there's the teeth here. And then sort of thing going on there. As well as here, it's like a half. Like we can see an inner half of a circle, kind of like an ammonite structure, but a half, sort of like this one is itself as a whole. Like it's a half. Also, it's a little odd, like in the center is almost seems elongated. It's hard to see, but there's some layers in here, like different shells or segments like we've seen in other shallograms. Like this one has. Sort of like there. That this one has. Whoa, it's so big in there. The one with this feature, which is highly anomalous as well. This one then continues across here in a stream. And also has this other structure to the right of it right there. Very odd. Not normal. But so there's that one. I don't want to take too long because this takes a lot of disk space to do a video this size. So here's another one. There's 4 of these that I haven't shown yet. And as we can see, it's got the typical etchings here. These things that go around in a kind of weird way. Like they go basically this to the side here and then down here. And then over here are some more with a chakra that's got a sort of yin-yang to it. Like part of it is missing in like a yin shape. The other part makes like a yang. And then over here we see some teeth randomly, like these things. But over here that aren't actually in line with the others. Some more etchings over here, some teeth that way. This crack also. Let's just kind of go through. Then it's got this missing piece here. Just like that. And then there. This one looks kind of like a figure 8 maybe, which is sort of like an ammonite opening on a shallogram, like when it is angled this way and has like top and bottom. This is only on one side. It doesn't have like a top side. Like it was forming on the outer surface. Little opening in there etched in. Another opening there. This opening is real interesting if I can get a good angle of it. So it's got that that figure 8 thing that like wraps around. And notably, it kind of like is at the same right there, pretty much across this one, the far right one. the middle thing, the top of it, and this one, like a point of influence on the stone that's kind of limited there. You can see the boundary. Also, this has teeth like here, along there. But this one, you can see a chakra in there. I'm pretty good now. Right there. But it's like not cohesively formed. So it looks kind of weird. Which is similar to this one. If we look in there, I guess I gotta keep it far away. In this one, there's a dendrite type structure in there, almost like this side, one of those, but just part of it. It's really not focusing very well. And down here, there's some openings. More missing of the top layer etched away here. Almost like chipped away. But it seems again, like if we go like this, related to over the far right one there, right there. As well as down here, like a possible relationship in terms of how far down the right one goes. Like it could have gone further, but because it's energetically related to this one, there's some kind of maximum influence on the side maybe. You can see some teeth there. Just kind of etched in the rock for no particular reason. The up, down shape of the line, which appears to connect over to that right there. Just checking it out down there. This structure. Okay, I wanted to hold off on my favorite one of the four until, I guess I'll just do it last because the next one's so fast. But that's this one. I'm struggling to remember particulars besides especially that. Like my thought is, if you notice right there, there's little pores looking. I'm wondering if maybe current went in this way and came out over there, because there's also pores there. And this thing right there is kind of interesting. You can definitely see little grooves. Okay. And there's this one, which is actually not the one I was going for, but that's okay. Because it's pretty cool. It's more just like a stone. But notice it has this big old round thing. We can distinctly see this circle in the stone, which is reminiscent of this one. right there. This segment. That segment. As well as this side, the whole of this side. I don't know if we'll be able to see this side very well, especially not completely, but we can kind of see the boundary there, where it goes from more like smooth over here to more porous over there with the boundary, as well as like if I keep going, it has this like tab type thing here where the smooth part extends across here, and then a rough portion, almost like the one that was chipped away looking, and some teeth there looking things. Just on the surface of the stone, this is the one that's like this. Let's see if we can look in there. This one's incredible. I don't have enough space to turn it up like that. Okay, so that's kind of reminiscent of what's going on this one. It's also just got the wavy teeth structure here across it, as well as something else going across the wavy teeth right there, and continuing across and having teeth itself there, and seemingly related to this with another little opening, so it's got some of those kinds of things, little opening, little spot there, right there, and then this one, like it's kind of got chakras like right around there, across here, right there, and right there, kind of like across it, but it didn't fully form. So this one doesn't have like an ammonite in formation, but it has pseudo-ammonite type things. We can even see, interesting, this line. It almost like got, there we go, right, has like another fracture going around there that then goes this way, and right here in this segment is like some sort of tooth looking things. It's not etched in the stone, but it's like subtle. I can't see it at that angle. Also, this continues out here, it looks like, around there, like a larger lobe that goes back around here. Then it just has this region, which maybe is in line with this chakra right there. This chakra here maybe is in line with like a pressing of the current out to this side that etches into this segment there, so it has like a etching. Can definitely see a chakra right there, like a tiny little point. Just not fully formed because they're formed by currents. Okay. And now the main event. This one is amazing. I've looked at this one so much. I love this one. It's so cool. So this is, we'll just kind of flip it around real quick. It's got a side that looks kind of like this. Side like that, like this. This I find really interesting about it. Like if I put my finger across this way, this finger, like right there, it's got like a rectangle that seemed to form in the shape itself. So it's got this, right? this one, which is apparently an ammonite, supposedly etched by or imprinted by an ammonite. But then it's got really, really subtle, like right there, these little subtle things coming off towards it, but it doesn't truly have a chakra. And what's really, really fascinating to me, like proof positive this is not a fossil, if we look in here, like the ammonite that was, like let's say a shell was here on this, in this stone, or on it in some way that it formed this like imprint of the shell. The thing is why would it also form an imprint beyond its boundary and down in here, like into the thing? So let's see, I'll try to get a, you can see the little, these structures are also inside of this opening, because essentially the current is coming along these channels, and over here it actually went into the stone and etched into the stone, but it still did so in like an orderly way of the shape of the eddies that are forming, that are shaping this. There we go. To create this segment here where it's etched out and has the structures within it. And if we look at it at the right angle, like here, let's say, yeah, it was focusing pretty well. Point being, they're basically in line, like with the bottom ones showing a relationship. Like they're not staggered. Where this opening is most etched in to have these structures just like this is more etched in here than it is between it, like between, right between them along this mass. There's also mass over here aligned with the masses over here, showing a relationship. So there's that one, and then just opposite to it is another one, which has these really subtle things on it here, etched into the chakra, which is pretty cool, and as well as this opening, which notice it has the same structures in there, even though it's not like a complete ammonite. It's probably something to do with that there's a eddy over here, there's an eddy over here, and between them is this structure getting just like chiseled out, but also forming like an imprint of one of these. Some teeth over here just etched in. A couple of them, like right there, some right there even. They go across and connect into the opening, as well as seemingly to this structure here. Possibly go up to the top one even. It looks almost like it goes just like up. Then all of these things, like these, like this here, this opening, is connected through this channel up this way to this one. Oh yeah, now we can see those teeth really well inside of that opening. As well as at the top boundary, we can see them where it's just etched into the wave structure like that. But so it connects across to here, but then it goes across to over to this one. As well as like down right there. Like there's not that little thing right there, if it focuses again. Throughout the totality of this imprint, just right at that point. Come on, baby. Right at that point. But that connects over to there, which then seemingly maybe like continues across here even. Then there's some teeth here. And then that's that face where it's like a rectangle. Let's see, can we see in this whole opening? This right here, that little spine right there that goes down and in. Can't really see inside of it. Alright, this one's interesting right here. These two right there. They have like a sort of figure eight ammonite shape. Maybe if I turn it this way. And then like a chakra. But the chakra like goes down. It's not just like a point. Yeah, maybe it is a point even. It's more elongated. Like I think we can see it go that whole length. I know it's a little blurry, but just the color. Come on. It's got a little smiley face over here. Kind of like the troll face meme. This one can see like a mass in there. Boundary. This, if I turn it right, we should be able to see, there we go, little teeth things, almost like a seashell looking. Sorry, Shalagram. Little bumps. Reminiscent of like, again, like a Shalagram, like, I don't know if this one has it. Like here, I guess. Which tend to happen along the boundaries. Not always, but just when it does happen, it's along a boundary because current is flowing and etching along a boundary, creating more channels of inlet or outlet that then combine or divide dependent on if they're going in or out. Also, we can see all these little like ring, like partial ring things in there. On that face. Some more teeth above it that also like right, they come off of like right there, like that boundary and up. Possibly wrapping around, like around it, like from the tip of the toothpick around this way, over that way, and possibly relating to this again, like coming up. Also, sort of chakra, like to it all that way, where the chakra actually is. Or I guess this is the chakra. I was thinking it was here. It was this side. In here, let's see if we can see this. It's just so close. It's hard to really just some anomalies in there. Again, with this like connection from the eddy current out through and into this point, which it has its own like chakra, or one lobe, two lobes with like a chakra between that's not fully etched. And then over here, notice there's like a chakra. There's a chakra right there, a really tiny one, right there, that then has a small lobe out to the left and a larger lobe out to the right, that then connects across this way. To the boundary of that circle over there. Trying to see in there. If we can see, there's like a tiny little spine. Let me see where it's at. On this side. There it is. Right there. That goes around. It's not typical in shallogram and ammonites. I mean, like, it's not just like straight, there we go, like straight up an ammonite shape. It's like, it's got features of an ammonite, but not really a full-blown ammonite shape. It's even like bends a little bit, I think. Goes back to the drilling center. Has this ridge, like that other ridge we saw somewhere along the line, which tend to happen like all the time in shallograms. The ridge, like, it's not just a ring etched, it is a ring that has like a little protrusion. That goes along the length of the etching segment. Okay, so that's that. Very cool. Also, there's this. That's right, I didn't even mention this. Notice this angle. Like the way the matrix, which is just the material, the way the matrix shapes and like pinches along this portion, it really looks pinched from like up here down and in, and then back out over this way. Oh my god, over here. And then doing a similar thing this way where it's pinched in the center. And if we look at the edge, like it's actually etched a little bit more right here, as well as over there, right there. And then again, the edge on this side, right around here, has some odd features that, again, it's like it's just kind of etched in, but smashed, like pinched together, so it doesn't necessarily have the teeth segments like we can see right there. This stretch right there is kind of pinched in. This thing is incredible. See another chakra right up here, and the way it like bows out. It really looks like a bow. Like we can even see it's got a little bit of like something to catch on. Let me see if I can catch on it. No, not really. It does seem to be pushing out, but okay. Before let's switch this up. It's gonna take 1 second, or like 30 seconds. So be right back. And I think we're good. Okay. I was gonna play some music, but I chose not to. Also, I was gonna. Too late. I was gonna try looking in the UV light. Okay. That's 38 minutes or something, so. I looked, I was at 673. So I might as well just pick up where I am. Is this good camera-wise? That looks pretty good, I guess. Sure. Pick up where I left off. Rudraksh Guru, as is typical. Maybe I should actually just kind of... Let's just go through it. Not the most exciting, more typical shape, like lobe chakras. So if you go back through the video and kind of look for these types of shapes, you'll hopefully see what I'm talking about in some instances if you didn't see what I was talking about. Then this like outer structure again that doesn't, like, why does this ammonite have an outer ring to it that seems to like even go down here over this way? And then that's okay. So a bunch of little features on it, some more teeth there, like the bow again. Looks like a sort of pseudo chakra over here forming too. Flat face, probably the bottom. And then all this stuff, like, let's see if we can find a totality of what we're looking at. So here's the opening, right? And then back behind it, back behind it is this boundary, and then a lower boundary, upper boundary, lower boundary, which, if this is a fossil, is related to the fossil. I mean, obviously. This one and this one with this bulge, which is pretty common in ammonites to have like a bulge of that nature. But then if that's the case, what's going on with all this stuff? Like, it's the same, like these are chakras, lobe with a little, not like, it looks almost like this lobe has another chakra over here with another lobe that makes it this like almost like another ammonite off of it. Maybe something similar going on here. Very like abnormal shapes. Again, some teeth in there, across there, something going across that way. It's very odd and incredible. These go across further and then seemingly connect ultimately over there, as well as continue but connect. Like, there's again like layers that shouldn't be there if it's fossils. Also some teeth this way, looks like. This is another one. Actually, was that, I guess I just skipped 675. Teeth in there. We can see teeth in there. Like, what? Why is this like a closed ammonite and then just like a lobe? It's just got a lobe on this side and then this closed channel. Currents can do that. Fossils, shells cannot. We even see like the etching of the current around it, even atop it, across here. Like, this is not just sitting in a river and etching it like this. These are structured etchings that are not happening just by water flow that would do like one direction generally. They wrap around in different directions because it's forming more of like an eddy, even atop it. I guess this here on the opposite side maybe looks like this, I guess. Or like this. I get right there, maybe is actually right there. And then from its center, this little like tooth-like channel, this looks kind of like a turtle. Turtle. Going around a top-ish looking thing. Another face of it. The etchings on the surface. More etchings on the surface. More etchings on the surface. Okay. Then one that's just like split. A lot of dendrites. A lot of color. A lot of differentiation of the material from the process, which currents can do. They don't need like time, millions of years, and a seashell to do this, or a creature's shell to do this from the sea or ocean to do this. They just need enough high pressure and currents, and the material itself, like the shale material, being shaped by the current, like that physically flowing with the current, but under high pressure, so that it forms a structure like this. And then as the pressure relieves, it stays formed. It doesn't just like decay. These shalograms are very, very sturdy. Like they are a rock, like any other rock in essence, but they're shaped by the currents in very peculiar ways. Still the same one, I think. Okay, that's this one. Okay, so that's the where it's split in half we're looking at here. You can see an inner one, I guess, maybe one there too. It didn't get like through the shale, I guess. It's covered in shale some reason, more so near the chakras than the outer portion. Little openings, very cool. Little openings. Okay. This one's cool, but I don't know. Okay, another one. Just this random spot over there. I don't know if that makes more sense as we go forward. Part of an ammonite. But like teeth in here that maybe are related to those structures going up that way. It's hard to tell. Maybe we can see in another image. Certainly that one looks to be like off the top of, like, here's this tooth, but like there's an upper tooth and an upper tooth, maybe middle, like a lower one just below it there, and then upper one up that way, and then up, and then bing, where these are suddenly and abruptly not etching this way, but etching this way, almost like an undercurrent that was going up this way or down, probably across from the bottom up, I guess. But below a current that was going more so across this way, maybe. So that it etched like that, and it looks like it bends, like it was going this way, but it starts to go more to the left. So maybe this is actually going around to the left, encouraging an undercurrent to bend with it to the left. Take it back now, y'all. Very cool. Okay. I haven't looked at these in a long time, except the ones I did more recently, saved more recently. These are all from Rudrak's Guru for the time being. Maybe sooner or later some other ones, but little teeth in here that continue over there. Abnormal shape, just an abnormal, but it still looks like an ammonite. Like, it's not a formed ammonite, but it has its wrapping shape. It has like a nucleus chakra thing going on here. It has teeth out here that maybe are related to it. Also, these go this way. But then there's this over here that goes more like that way. And then there's these bigger ones here that seem to go from maybe here over that way. Can maybe see some teeth types things going on in there in the way it's etching the surroundings of the rock, like this portion. Dividing like this one had in the little like segments. I don't know if that was very visible, but the first one I talked about, maybe having a similar dividing thing going on there. Very odd. I don't want to sit here and think about it, but there's probably certain flow paths going on to go to the center that is inducing all of what's going on here. Like it goes across here, across this way, like bends, like there's some kind of resistance. Let's say it's coming in from the bottom, it goes this way, just to like consider a potential. Runs into resistance and bends and bends and divides. One goes to the chakra, another goes to the outer boundary of it, of this whatever's going on here. And I guess then they feed out that way, if that's the case. And then there's also this going across and into the chakra across there, towards the chakra. This across this way, maybe along a boundary. I don't know exactly. I mean, that there's a boundary here maybe points to why this like divides. Like it does seem to divide generally along that stretch. Then it just has these things. There's another, that's kind of like what I was talking about. That little opening in the second one I talked about. I was trying to show a picture or an angle of it. I guess it was this opening there, if that is visible. Not at all. Okay. Well, where I was pointing out what dendrites look like on the other one to kind of compare it, like similar to what that is what I was referring to. This one's just like a piece of one that's just beautiful. Wow. Very cool. Very cool, very cool, very cool. It's getting late. Very cool. I think I have 706, so I got a bunch more. I could probably make another episode of shallograms. It's been like a month. I haven't been researching much, honestly, besides just in passing, like more passively. I haven't been like staring at the earth. Probably under 10 hours since I made a video, my last video. And it's scattered across time, so I really am a little rusty on things. I've watched my last video a couple times. I'm like, dude. Feels good. Feels good because there's so many profound things in that video. It's like, whoa. This looks kind of like spokes right there, right there, right there, right there. Maybe right there too. Like that's interesting, that one. Maybe some kind of relationship cross current wise. Also the way this goes down and then this goes up and then it looks like a wave. Like down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, up, down. kind of like counterbalancing one another and then continuing in a similar way, but without such an anomaly. Probably to do with similar to how this way, but like across this way, maybe. Something that relates to this boundary down here. Like, why would this shell induce this ring around it in the matrix? Shell. These things are so incredible. So incredible. It even looks like it has like a secondary ring of not the golden color like pyrite material, but some other subtle ring around it. We can see it over here too. Interesting features here. This almost looks like it was trying to form a chakra there. Maybe something round there too, in like a subtle way. I'm just spitballing because I haven't looked at this stuff in a while, but I mean, it doesn't matter because it's so incredible. I can just point at anything and be like, isn't that incredible? Oh, like, this should not be like this on the side of a seashell. Ammonite. This is the backside of this. This one face looks like this, the other face looks like this. Very unassuming, relatively. Little opening there. I mean, this kind of indicates something's going on, but this is real interesting. Like, what? And then it even looks like it has some kind of feature going off that way. This little circle here. Very cool. Okay, okay. Same one. Same one. You can kind of see some more features. What? Again. And there's the chakras. We got this straight across. Really, I mean, clearly going that way. But also clearly going that way. Straight across there, though. Like, not there. Like, it looks like there's down here. And then it sort of divides for some reason energetically. And then skips up to here and goes more so that way. Like, shells just don't do that. Any of this. It doesn't make any sense for shells. Little circle there. So cool. All the nuance I can kind of see right there, right there. Right, like almost like this has more rings out, like it was etching further, but it didn't etch, so it just created these rings. It didn't create an opening like this. Instead, it created some rings around it. So cool. Plus off of here, going like this way and then up, like that. Almost looks like it's going either in or out from this location. Like a specific point it goes in, let's say, and runs into resistance and bends down and goes that way. From just the pressure inside, or vice versa, it's venting that way. As well as these ways, I don't know. So cool. More of these like anomalous structures. This kind of looks like a chakra. I mean, it's not form, but lobe, chakra in pentagon type shapes almost, back to back. Turtle shell type things going on up here. More just like polygonal shapes too. Even this looks kind of polygonal, like a triangle, I guess. Over here too. It looks like this is below this layer, like this is a top layer, and then it got etched to expose this layer, which got etched to expose this layer, maybe. Definitely an ammonite structure was forming here by, it even has this like protected zone that's not etched as much, which is very common when that happens. This also looks like it has like a W shape to it, like a ammonite structure again. So cool. I mean, it's weird looking. Looks kind of like muddy or like a rusty, something weird about it, but it's cool. This little opening looks like it has little seashell type shapes coming off of it, like the teeth. I don't know if that's what's happening. That, oh my god. There. Over there. Chakra, lobe, second lobe, maybe even a third lobe, but it looks like a skull. Eyeball, like a skull. So cool. Similar to the other one, but way more dendritic, because cross currents are just interacting intensely. Like current's going across, but then there's current going this way, and it's causing current to like vibrate and occupy all the space, and then it etches out things of this nature. Also, it's got like the chamber, like the segments. Like here's a segment of a, when we look at it like this way, like segment, like this one. Which you may not be able to see, but the first one I've compared to. When I had the magnifying glass out. Very cool, very cool. How far are we? I really need to make sure this isn't too long so that I can upload it. If it's too long, I can't upload it. I think it should be okay because they're not as big when I'm just recording the screen for some reason. Not like a huge picture of me. Just very cool, very cool. Okay. This one, this is a good one to stop on. Proof they're not fossils. Notice the chakra here. Chakra here. There's two systems. 1, 2. 1, 2. This here. Boundary. boundary. Why, how the two shells physically overlap one another? They can't. And this is not even the best picture of this. But just real quick, there's this thing going on here, which interestingly etches to there and then exposes some like gold material in there. Pyrite. There it is. So we got this shell that extends out this way. So like imagine this shell continues because it clearly existed. It continued. And then there's another one, chakra, that like goes up underneath it to a point where it literally shares a boundary. Like this right here is like this. Just a smaller one back here. One of the, like the inner one right here is right here, which we can see it right there with its little segments. It literally shares a boundary and cuts into, like, this shape is influenced over here by the presence of this system. But if these are two shells contained in a matrix that then fossilize across millions of years, they still wouldn't occupy a directly adjacent space like this. It doesn't make any sense. People just aren't looking at these. They're just not looking. They're all unique. Like, there's no other shallogram like this shallogram right here. And the next one and the next one. They're all unique like this. This one may be more pronounced in its like certainty that it's not a fossil. Also, it's got an opening over there. Let's see what else. I think, I don't know. This is definitely the same one as this here. And this. Which does not look, okay, this is still the same one. Right? Sometimes I save things under their previous number accidentally. I think this is still the same one. This is still the same one. I'm just not sure about this one. This one seems one too far, but oh my god. Like the way this staggers. It's clearly forming a lobe type thing, but staggered. Let's go back here. Okay, yeah, we can see over there something else going on. So it's behind this one, which is connected to this one, like energetically across a pretty much straight line boundary here. It goes up and down like the teeth, but it's generally more like across than wrapping around. Like it would continue out further. Behind that one, behind the mass even, maybe that's relevant. Like the mass that's stuck around is another system. Which appears maybe like it's over there though. I'm not sure. This one is what got some teeth going that way. Let's see. I don't think that's this one then. That it must. There's that. Oh wow. Whoa. There's even teeth over here. Oh my god. These ain't no fossils. They're so incredible. Okay, so this is the same stone then. And then this one is, I guess, on the opposite side there. Where those are. What an incredible shallogram this one is. Straight line across there. Whoa. Another circular, sort of polygonal shape inside. With maybe a hexagon outer boundary. Kind of reminiscent of Mount Gurnar. Also, this boundary goes across. There's a chakra looking like a lobe. Okay. Another. Similar to the last one. I'll just go through these real quick. Okay, that's enough. This is a good one to stop on, so I'll stop there. Unfortunately, yeah, this is gonna be 358. Also, I have 360 subscribers. Another reason I was like, I should really do a video. It seems appropriate. Also, so thanks, new subscribers. Anyone? Most seem to be coming in through the Malcolm Bendel reactions and Aaron Russo reaction with the Alex Jones interview. So definitely a little different subject matter, but hopefully this is interesting to anyone stumbling on my page. I mean, if it's not, I would just say either, okay, so be it, or check out my Shalogram playlist. I have so many playlists, I have so many videos, I have so many discoveries, so many things that are not possible to talk about in like a short span, because it's just like thousands of discoveries that are all sort of either big, small, little, like portions of why I even talk about this. Like, most people probably wouldn't find these that interesting to a point where they would watch or certainly not make something like 65 hours of videos just talking about shallograms specifically, like this one. And so when I rewatch my videos, I certainly skip the shallogram video sometimes. So there is that, but they're still really, really interesting. And yeah, okay, I'm gonna stop now. I gotta get to bed. See you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Till next time, hopefully sooner than later. Peace.